Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Egal Talks Football. We're back again with another video. I got Vader in the building. I got Tunes Tactics in the house, repping Newcastle, of course. And we got Rack in the building, Premier League champion. And now he's about to take Man City and Bayern Munich's #1 transfer target of the summer, Florian Wirtz, to Liverpool. It has been confirmed from Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein that he has told Bayern Munich that he will choose to join Liverpool. I cannot believe it, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe it. I did not think Liverpool were going to be able to pull this transfer off. This is unbelievable. Liverpool are confident that Florian Wirtz's deal is done after a fresh contact in the last 24 to 48 hours. You go to what David Ornstein said. He originally broke the news saying Liverpool giving huge boost on Florian Wirtz's pursuit as Bayern Munich believe the 22-year-old is on course for Anfield and he is leaving Bayer Leverkusen this summer. The club would still need to agree a deal, but not formalities, but German international favors Liverpool. If you guys mess this up from here, it would be shocking. But oh my God, what a transfer!
Why is your first thing? If you guys mess this up, first talk about how spectacular this deal is, and not going with a negative, Egal.
Okay. Let's get to the positive. Wow, I'm just gonna hand it over to you, Rack. Take it away. What a start!
Look, man. This has come out of nowhere. I don't think anyone is expecting it. I think was it last week? Vader was already kind of dismissing Liverpool as a possibility, even, and we showed we still got it. Listen, Liverpool is one of the greatest teams in world football. We have a huge budget, and we are Premier League champions. Of course, we're desirable. Yes, there have been times in the past where we've kind of spent limited amounts of money. And I think that's okay. You don't have not every player has to be £100 million transfer. I'm also happy when we get players for 20, 30 million. Ryan Gravenberch, right, had a spectacular season. We bought him a season and a half, 2 seasons ago, season and a half ago, and he's been one of our players of this season. Alexis McAllister, 35 million. It's good you can buy smart and you can buy big, and both of them are fine. Ultimately, as long as they all work, then fine. I want players at Liverpool who want to wear the badge and who want to be needle movers. And from what I'll be honest and say, I haven't watched much German football recently. I'm very busy. So back in the day, I used to watch a lot. I haven't seen much of it, but what I have seen is incredibly encouraging, and he will make a difference. When we talk about losing Trent's creativity, this guy, he will bridge that gap, if not take it further forward. And that's what we need to do. We're going for number 21.
This is unbelievable. Everyone in the comment section, shout out to you guys. Please do hit that like button, especially if you're a Liverpool fan. If you're not going to be happy right now and hitting that like button, I don't know when you will. Where's Liverpool's downfall? Egal, Arteta's excuses incoming. Stop it, LFC 1225. Allow me. The season's not even over and you're already still on my case. Like, let me breathe. Let me breathe. Vader, people in the chat are coming for you. You got a ghost coming here saying, Vader, hold that. How does it feel that one of your #1 transfer targets is going to be headed to Liverpool, and they seem to have pipped you to the transfer?
You know what? The funny thing is, I've been here before. I've been here before with regards to rival clubs, not just Liverpool, but rival clubs getting targets that have been on my short list. So I'm curious whether it's going to turn out to be a good decision if it does get finalized over at Liverpool. But this is the game. When you're a big club, like Rax said, when you've won Prems, like Rax is now able to say officially with this one that he's won, you're able to then speak with confidence with the targets that you're going after. And if I'm going after a target, I should expect big clubs like a successful, maybe arguably the best ran or most successful club in England, like a Liverpool, to also go after a target. There's no shame in me missing out to a Liverpool getting Wirtz. I would have actually been upset with my club not prioritizing Wirtz as a target, right? So you can't score if you don't take a shot. It happens to be Liverpool. I'm very surprised because Liverpool, again, no disrespect, but over the years, they have been shown to be this aggressive and this, how should I say, direct with their intentions. And when they have been this direct, they've fallen short, right?
No.
Fan, a popular Liverpool fan had to shave his head because of how direct and confident he was in thinking they were going to get. So it does happen. There's no shame in that. I'm going to say, why are you shaking your head, Rax?
No team has 100% record, right? No team has 100% record. There are failures.
Not even Real Madrid.
Exactly. Real Madrid were in big, made it known that they wanted Erling Haaland, the most proficient goal scorer in the world. We happen to get him. It's what happens out here. So credit to Liverpool if this deal does get done, because a lot has been said, but like me, I like to see the jersey being held up by the player. But yeah, credit to Liverpool. I'm very surprised. This is very un-FSG Liverpool-like. We can all agree to that. So for me to have egg on my face, this is new. This is new with regards to Liverpool.
By the way,
can I carry some of those points?
Let me just tell the people in the chat, please do hit that like button. I don't know if you guys have met Toon Tactics, Ahmed, Vader, Rack. I don't know if you guys have met.
Yeah, plenty of times.
Philip's
the guy, man.
Also, Ahmed, welcome. But yeah, Rack, take it away. What were you going to say before we continue?
So Vader is right in the sense that
was right.
Yeah, we don't get all of our targets. No club does. But there have been times when we've gone aggressively for a target when other clubs have been around, but we've also moved silently when other clubs have been around. Like, for example, Fabinho, the day after we lost the Champions League to Real Madrid all those years ago, he was on a private jet to Liverpool literally the day after. Right, came out of nowhere. Mark Goldbridge was crying into his cornflakes.
That's not like this, though, Rax. Come on.
No. But what I'm saying, we had Luis Diaz, right? We let Tottenham do all the hard work. They agreed the fee, and then we came in, right? We tried to do the same thing with Chelsea, and we did outbid them. But to be fair, then they upped the bid, and like I said, obviously made it clear that he wanted to stay as well. He wanted to go to Chelsea. Yeah. No. So we tried it with Chelsea. On that occasion, it didn't quite work. But it happens. Like, you win some, you lose some, and Chelsea beat us to that.
I will say this. Yes, I'm Vader, and I can be a hater. I am impressed that Liverpool were able to do this without topping up, because the last time they got a big player like this was Van Dijk, and they got slapped on the wrist.
They didn't really spend anything there, though. Like, if we're being fair to Liverpool, they didn't spend anything last season. Like, they were kind of like in a nap.
Why are you stepping on what I just said? Why are you
I have to, bro. I'm sorry, man. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
Ahmed,
Ahmed,
this is Mr. Fair and Balanced Ahmed. What you know? I know you have your moments, Vader, where you try and go a little bit left field. But
no, the problem.
Ahmed's middle name is Fair and Balanced.
The issue I got with Ahmed is that he's always slightly offside. He doesn't wait for my play to be completed yet. He's always just offside. My point was, the last time Liverpool got a big player like this, and you brought up some names, was Van Dijk. And I'm impressed that you guys are able to do this without a slap on the wrist on how you kind of, bent the rules a little bit with Van Dijk. But credit to you with Wirtz. He's phenomenal. There's a reason why City and Real Madrid and Bayern wanted this player. I'm having an exit of KDB, the best midfielder you've all seen in the Prem, and I wanted to find someone else to kind of maybe step slightly into his shoes, maybe not fill them, but step into them. And Wirtz was the target. We don't got him, so we got to move somewhere else.
Yeah, Liverpool.
I did say something, right? That there's a KDB shaped hole in Manchester City, and yeah, he could have been a guy to fill or the guy to fill him potentially, but.
I was just gonna say, Ping Pong, Florian Wirtz, and Kirkaz, pretty much almost all being heavily linked this early. Liverpool starting off their window with a bang. But Ahmed, take it away. What are we gonna say? And then we'll bring it to Toon Tactics after.
I mean, I don't even know what there is to say. Like, I feel like Liverpool are clearly, I think they're moving with a purpose in the market. I think that there's no denying that. They're getting deals done very early. I think they're also they've done a good job taking advantage of a period where I'd probably say, three of us on this on this show You know, we don't even know if you're going to be getting Champions League football or not. You know, two of us are literally dead set. So Liverpool have done an amazing job of just doing their job of doing what they need to do and getting their stuff done a lot earlier in times of uncertainty. But listen, bringing in Wirtz, that has to be like, you know, alarm bells for, I think, the other teams, right? If you're a City, if you're an Arsenal, even I think if we even to an extent a Newcastle and a Chelsea, obviously if we do make UCL football and looking to maybe take that next step, hopefully next season, that, you know, they are bringing in real quality, bro. Like you may have lost Trent, but if you're bringing already Frimpong, who I think is a very good quality fullback. Kirkhead, you basically replaced Robertson there with a much more better player there. Obviously, he's still not on Robertson level in his prime, of course, but in terms of what he's giving you right now, Kirkhead is giving you 10 times better, and he's got a lot more youth on his side too. Plus a top player in Wirtz. I mean, and you know, the thing is, they're still looking for a number 9, if I'm not mistaken, too. And if they get the right number 9, right, to replace Darwin Núñez, it's looking very scary. Scary in terms of, like, you know, of them being able to do like maybe a repeat for the title next season. So
you know the transfer window is literally for Liverpool right now. It's go and address every single issue they have.
Exactly, bro. Yeah,
they won the league with an imperfect team. Fair play to them. And we got a super chat.
Every team is imperfect. That's the problem, Egal. You're striving for perfection. Perfection ain't going to be there. You need to roll with the punches and do what you.
Fair play.
It's been a while, Rex.
I get it. Yeah, it's been 20 plus years. You don't have to remind me. People in the chat, do me a favor. Please hit that like button. We have over 800 people in the building. Please do hit that like button right now. And I'm going to make sure I put the links to everyone's channels in the description also, so you guys can go check them out. But first things first, Box of Oranges is definitely a Liverpool fan, 84, saying, when players choose Liverpool, rivals claim that no one wanted those players. Revisionist history. In this situation, no one can say that. Bayern Munich.
I don't know if anyone's saying that now. Yeah,
this is one of the hottest properties in world football.
I'm fairly certain everyone would want Wirtz here.
Even
in the past, like what's
this guy is a top player.
Ahmed, I know you watch Bundesliga. How good is he? Because I haven't watched Bundesliga consistently for 5 or 6 years.
Let me bring in two tactics before we go to how good he is.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
talk to me, bro. Come on. Because people are talking about Isaac, they're talking about this guy, but this is a crazy domino to fall so early in the transfer window. Are you surprised? It's already pretty much confirmed.
I'm not. It's what happens when you've got a good sporting director. Like, I'm not sure why people are even surprised. This is Liverpool under Edwards. Like, this is how a good sporting director moves. And when you've got a machine now in terms of what the team is doing on the pitch, and you've got an infrastructure on the back, this is what happens. I think Liverpool are making dynasty moves. They're trying to build a dynasty. They're going to try and continue to win the league, to win all the domestic leagues if they can, continue to be a force in Europe. And that's just how it looks like to everybody else. And I think when people are looking at FSG, I think just people got to just, whether you like them or not, but I just think you've got to have a bit more of a wisdom in terms of how you judge owners and what they're doing and why they're doing it. And you have to understand things like PSR and everything else is real. And sometimes if you're patient, you let your opponents, make their mistakes first. Man City spent 200 to 300 million in the January transfer window. They're still praying on the final game of the season that they get into the Champions League. That's insane. Maybe that's why Liverpool were able to give that little bit of extra push. I think also Liverpool have always had pull. This is just a myth in terms of what people are saying. But every player has different reasons as to why they go to different clubs. I sometimes judge different players as to why they choose certain clubs over others, to be honest. I do think if a player chooses not to go to Liverpool compared to maybe some other kind of like Hollywood type of clubs, I just think that's like a Hollywood type of player. Like, he doesn't really want what Liverpool wants. Like, that's how highly I judge them. Ooh. However, I know we're going to talk about the player in a moment, so I won't go there. But this is dynasty moves that Liverpool are trying to do, and everybody else is trying to catch up. And like you said, you alluded to that. to that number 9, I'm just hoping that they've spent all their money on this Florian Wirtz, and then I'm
saying, man, I'll be honest.
We'll take it from there. But yeah, fantastic. Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkers. There's going to be a couple more players to go. Insane moves, but makes sense for Liverpool. Fantastic.
I think everyone's looking at this saying, "Wow, congratulations!" But and you know what? I want to know what Ahmed said, because Ahmed says he watches what do you call it, Bayer Leverkusen a lot more.
I wouldn't say I watch Bayer Leverkusen that much. I'm more of a League and Serie A guy, but you know, that's my expertise.
Provide that disclaimer. Provide the disclaimer just so we're.
I've been watching the Portuguese league a lot lately. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I don't even watch Bundesliga that much. I'll be honest. That's actually the league that I watch the least in terms of like whenever I get time to watch something. But from what I know and from what I've seen from him, he's a very good 10. Like obviously, if he's gonna be the guy that's gonna be playing the Szoboszlai position, he's gonna be very great there. Great dribbler, can find a pass really well. You know, which is something I think Liverpool have needed. That central creation. I think he will do a great job there. I think in terms of finishing, he can obviously improve a bit more in that aspect. But I think for me, he's more of a creator than he is a finisher, if that makes sense. But for me, again with him, great dribbler, can drive out players, great turn. Even though, funny thing about him, he actually tore his ACL, which is and he's had a great comeback from that. I'll be honest, man, at such a young age as well. So, but in general, man, you're getting a good dribbler, guy that can iron the needle passes, and that's the sort of stuff that I think you need, because I think Szoboszlai hasn't turned out to be the guy that I was watching at RB Leipzig, much like a Christopher.
Why do you say that with the smile? Why do you say that with that smile on your face like that?
Oh, come on, bro, man. Listen, don't do that, man.
No,
okay?
Why are you doing all that? Why you got all that?
I'm laughing about Nkunku, man. Nkunku's my guy. You know this dude. That's why I was, protect my own player. But like,
something?
Thank you for watching that short clip. Hopefully you enjoyed that video and you left a like on the video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the discussion that we just had. And